Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, really glad you're here today.
We're thrilled to have you. We're so excited to be with you today. We've got a brand new feature to share with you, and we've got lots of space, as usual, to get into live help. This is a live session that we offer every Thursday at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. It's a fantastic opportunity to learn more about AttractWell, of course, how to use our system, but also to get hands-on support, whether that's strategic or it's tech, it's design. We've got all of that right here on this call. So if you are embarking on a new project or you're just starting to learn about AttractWell and deciding whether or not it's the right fit for you, you are in the right place. And we're so thrilled to have you here. Go ahead and head into the chat. Let us know where you're coming in from. We're thrilled again to meet you, to learn about your business. So much of what we have here in our system is here because someone like you needed it, right? We are an all-in-one solution, and we're able to create something that works for many types of businesses. And we are always thrilled and excited to find new use cases with folks like you right here on this call. So head over, tell us what the work is that you do, and maybe who you do the work for, and maybe what you're working on this week. So Greg and I are going to pop into, out of video. I'm going to get into some slides just for some housekeeping here at the top of the call. And then we are going to get into some show and tell in the system. So we do, again, have an exciting new feature, and one that is, as everything, working with continual improvement. So looking forward to hearing from you guys about your experience with this, because it is something that we are actively growing, right? So it's not the final iteration of this feature. So today we're going to be talking about the AttractWell Setup Guide. I'm going to show you where it is, how you can make the most of it. And then we can, again, get into some discussion about, your use cases, so that we can make sure that you fully understand the best paths forward in using our system, no matter what it is that you do or what it is that you sell. So today, again, we're going to get into that setup guide. We're also going to have a discussion about setting up systems for your unique business using AttractWell, and then where you can find help and how to. There's loads of information. We've got replays of these calls that we're on right now. And then we have, more bite-sized, smaller pieces of information, or maybe you want to hop on a call that's solely dedicated to working one-on-one in a small group. So we'll talk about all of those things here. And then, of course, as always, we'll get into our live help and Q&A. Oh, and what I didn't put in the slides there is that I actually have a little surprise gift for you guys. How many of you would consider yourselves to be marketing gurus? Anybody? Anybody? Good. Nobody. Maybe one. All right. So if you are not one, I want to give you guys, and this is actually going to be integrated into the setup guide along with some videos I'm developing right now. But I've got a PDF version here I'm putting into the chat of a glossary of marketing terms. So if you ever wanted to know, like, what's the difference between a funnel and a pipeline, or, a subscriber versus a lead, or what does conversion mean, or, what's a 404 page, or what's a domain, things like that. We've got a nice little glossary of terms here. Again, this is going to grow into a little bit more of a robust resource for you. But if you want to have a little cheat sheet for your own reference, I've got access to that for you here in the chat. But what are we really here for? We are here to go and check out the setup guide. Hello and welcome. We've got, all right, Nikki from Alberta is a social media coach. You do social media management. Fantastic. Welcome. Keep it coming, a business coach, figuring out an email sequence, HRO of a credit union, also a business owner for consulting and leadership and cultural development. Fantastic. Oh, I love it. And guys, you are coming in from all over. Keep it coming in the chat. It's great to meet you. All right, so where we're going to go, and really the focus of everything that we're going to be talking about here today, is in the Success Academy. So if you go into your AttractWell dashboard and you head to the Success Academy, you're going to find that there is a new feature here called the Setup Guide. And that Setup Guide is right here. You can see I've actually got one set up. but I'm going to go over here and retake the questionnaire. So when you get started with this, if you go to the setup guide, it's going to give you this fun little confetti and a series of questions. So I want you to follow the prompts and let me know if you guys have gone through this yet. Did you know this was here? This is a pretty new feature that we've just added. All right, so what we're going to go through here is basically a handful of questions that's going to help guide you toward the most pertinent resources that you're going to want to check out first, right? Just to get you off to the best start, because what you'll find, if you don't know this yet with AttractWell, is you could do just about everything you need with us, right? If you are someone who sells expertise, who sells time, who does affiliate marketing, content, etc. But you don't have to do all the things, right? And you definitely don't need to try to do them all at once. So this is going to help give you a solid footing, a sort of customized orientation experience or reorientation experience if you didn't start off with this. So we'll just say in this example, I'm an existing business and I'm not a dinosaur spelunker. Maybe Greg is. All right, so I am a coach. I do one-on-ones and group sessions. Maybe I also, let's see, maybe I am also creating content. So I maybe have a podcast or I do YouTube videos. And maybe I'm not quite sure about some of the other things that I do. We can go here. And again, you can share with us your goals. This is an opportunity again for giving us some resources based on your answer. And by the way, our team will typically respond and give you some suggestions based on what you put here as well. So it's again a great opportunity to get a little custom feedback there. And then from here on, we're going to talk about the tech. What do you have in place or what you are interested in creating? So what about your website? So I don't have a website, but I want one. So we'll start there. Do we have a domain name? I want to get one, or I already have one. You could put it in here. You could also choose Ask Me Later if you want. If you would like to have a page for your link in bio, so like a link page, like Linktree, you see a lot of these in the bio sections on Instagram, for instance. That's the link in bio for people to click. If you're not sure what it is, you can click right here and we will, of course, show you what it is. But yes, I want one of these. If you show up on social media, you want one of these. And why would you have Linktree if you can have something that does the same thing on your own website, right? All right, what about courses? Maybe I got started on another platform. Maybe I want to move them, want to learn about migrating. You have some other options here as well. We talk about whether or not we offer coaching services or other services. I'm going to say yes for mine. I do not, maybe I am an existing business, but I don't have a big list. Maybe it's just a handful of people. So I do technically have one. I'm just going to go ahead and say yes. Let's see. Do I have any online meetings that I want to hold and set up here? Yes, I have client calls and I use Zoom for podcasting. So there we go. We'll say yes. And do I want to upload any videos, images, audio, or files? Yes, I've got client agreements. Maybe I've got photos of me that I want to use on my website, etc. So I'm going to say yes. I do plan on taking payments with AttractWell. That is something that you can do with us. And here we go. We've got our personalized getting started list here. I'm going to click next. And now when you go to your setup guide, you have a series of checklists and short videos for you to follow. And it is your own checklist. This is based on the answers that you have provided in the questionnaire here. And these are all relatively short videos. Obviously, some of them are going to be a bit more lengthy, where, for instance, we're talking about, building an online course or selling a program or service, right? And then we can also keep track in the system of the things that you've done. Did you create a course, right? And oh, look at that. We can mark it as done. I could mark it as not done. Or what if I'm stuck and I need some help, right? You can send a message to our team from right here. And then, of course, we have lots of other resources here as well. So highly, highly recommend. You could always come back here from your dashboard, go to the Success Academy, and revisit that checklist. You can absolutely retake the questionnaire. You could even browse all of the available videos. This is a growing library for you, and these are short. These are all going to be short articles or videos. And in this case, it's 4 minutes. I think where we're talking about, let's just say, for instance, you are, based on the type of business that you have, you're going to have maybe just a slightly longer video that would be recommended to you, right? But again, nothing's going to be an hour long, and it's all super doable and easy for you to access whenever you want it, and you can check them off as you go. Now, I want to go ahead and draw your attention to a couple of other spaces here. Once you have this list, you follow it, right? And it's going to give you some great recommendations. But if you want to go a little bit deeper into some of these topics, the first place that I recommend that you check out is this online resources and courses tab right here. This is where you're going to be able to go into a course format and actually follow the step-by-steps to get the resource bundles. If you want to to follow along and use our templates that are included in the Client Funnel Challenge, for instance, this is a great place to go. And of course, you could do these at any point. And just like this setup guide, you can at your own pace reference those materials and follow along and create the thing that you want, such as an online course or program. This actually is not just about online courses. This is about building any type of client serving experience inside of a member area in AttractWell. So this could be an online course. It could be a coaching program, a group program. It could be a membership. It could be a community, or it could even be a private client dashboard. So we talk about everything that you need to create those right here in this course. So that would be a great place to go once you're ready for it. But again, be sure to follow this. Now, if you want to dive into strategy, a really great place to go is going to be our recordings from these calls, like the one that you're on right now. You can search our previous editions right here. You can just type this in, and it's actually going to search our YouTube channel for that keyword. So maybe you're ready to get into SEO. So I'm going to maybe type in the word SEO. And then, of course, you can see all of the training on SEO right here. So we actually have a playlist you can go through. And a quick thing to note as well, and I get it, you are probably like me, someone who doesn't have a ton of time to just sit and learn stuff, right? You want to get to the point. So let me show you a quick trip. When you are in YouTube here, you want to maybe watch this SEO simplified video. The first thing that I want to call your attention to is the fact that while they may be an hour long in their entirety, and I'm going to let this ad play here real quick. But what we want to do is first remember that they only last about half of that amount of time before we get into Q&A. So this is really typically going to be about a 30, usually like a 35-minute video tops. This SEO is a little bit of a deeper training. It did go just a bit longer. So know that it's not going to take an entire hour. And the other thing that you should note as well is, this is for those of you who speed up your podcasts. Are there any of you here on the call today? I always speed my podcast up to almost 2 times speed, my audiobooks as well. You have a playback speed option here as well. So if you are in a hurry or you're trying to get to the space where you want to find the information that you want, you can actually speed up the playback on these videos as well. Now, finally, if you want to get help, right? So maybe you're stuck. Just like we talked about in the setup guide, there is a place in the setup guide for you to actually say, I'm stuck, I don't know where to go, right? And you can send a message to our team. That's always an option. Our team's here for you, support@attractwell.com. But you do have a lot of options, right? So you can hop onto a call, just like the one that we are on here today, where we have Q&A and where we can actually get hands-on in your account, in the work that you're doing, or even just discuss strategy or take your questions, right? So we've got that opportunity. But there are also smaller group help calls that happen at other dates and times. Those are led by Pam on our team, who is an expert on our platform, who's also a designer, who's a good copywriter. She's actually created a good handful of the templates that you'll find inside of AttractWell. So she's a fantastic resource. Definitely take advantage of that. This is free to you as an AttractWell community member. You can also go into our Facebook group. You can get in touch with support. And of course, these are our options that we're on here today on Thursday. You can have dedicated space on a call like this one. We reserve the second half of our calls for that purpose. And of course, you can always hire our team if you would like to hand off any of the things that you want done. So I would love to chat with you guys here. And I see there's a couple questions that came in the Q&A. A big focus of what we're doing with this setup guide and the goal of us having the setup guide is to provide context for you for how you'll use AttractWell based on the design of your business right now. You can obviously add to your business. So if right now you are a coach, but you would eventually like to have a membership, you don't necessarily need to know everything about creating a membership right now, but you do need to know how to serve your clients, right? So we're going to get you off to the right start, right, with the right information, using the setup guide in this way. And then when you're ready, you can come and start perusing those resources, get your plan in place, maybe hop on a call like this one and discuss, strategy on how to get started with a membership in that case. And then you can add that to your checklist, right? So let me bring out our questions here. Okay. Ricky says, I was watching the how to set up, promote, and run events with AttractWell video, which was recorded before you offered video hosting. Yes, it was. If I record a meeting to offer as a replay, should I record to cloud or to my computer? I was going to auto record to my computer, but I think I heard something on one video saying I should record to cloud. So Ricky, you have the option to do either. You can, of course, if you're going to edit, if you know that you want to edit the video, I would record to your device so that you can edit it, and then you just upload it to your videos, to your video manager in AttractWell, just like you would upload any other video that you might record with different software. But you do have a very quick path to importing your Zoom recordings into AttractWell videos, and that is if you record to cloud. So if you record to cloud, it's going to show up in your recordings, in your Zoom meetings, and a link will appear once that video is processed that will move it right over into your videos. So you don't have to choose one or the other, they both work. Yeah, so and that's a great idea to offer replays from your meetings. Yes, Artie, I will absolutely do a look over of your website for sure. We can do that today here in just a bit. All right, a question from Ashley. I know that you can restrict what vaults members have access to, but can you restrict what classes inside a vault that members have access to? So as of this moment, vaults are basically, if you're in the vault, you get everything that's in the vault. However, there are some workarounds, such as maybe having a hidden resource. So you actually have the ability to hide things, hide the visibility, adjust the visibility of things in your vaults. And you could maybe share a link privately to, a certain set of people. But it's not going to create the best user experience, for them, right? If you want to create a unique user experience for two different clients, then you're going to want to have two different vaults for that ultimately. And we would be thrilled, of course, to chat through any of this with you here on today's call as well, if you want to get into maybe some clarifying questions and strategy on that. Let me see, if you're charging for a replay or recording like a webinar, can you limit access to, or perhaps record to a computer and then upload and limit access? So we're charging for access to a recording, right, Sandy? Is that correct? So if you are charging for that, then let me see. Okay, there we go. Good. Then, you can do both, right? So you can record it to your computer, do your edits, and then upload it. Yes. The limiting access, it depends on how you want to share it, and the degree of sort of fidelity that you want there. So if you want to make sure that only one person is going to see it, we do have the ability to create a unique link for an individual. You could also just make sure that you are only sharing that link to the video, to the recording itself, or to the page that the video is hosted on, via the campaign, for instance, right? So, and it would be a page that is it's like not found on search engines. So there would be a page setting here. Let me show you real quick what I mean by this. So if you put it, the replay onto a page, which I would recommend that you do if you're selling it just for a better user experience, what you would do is you'd put the video on the page, and then you would, in the page settings, just make sure that the page is shown by link only. And then you would put the link to that page in your campaign, and that campaign goes out after people purchase. Okay. Let me see if you guys could pretty please, when you have questions, put them into the Q&A. I want to make sure we're not missing anything from you. It can get lost in the chat. Okay, Karen says, on this subject, I had someone create a landing page for me, but don't want them to see my credit card info. And it's like a once and done. So she won't be a VA or helping me in the future, but do I get charged for having her at the, So you have the ability, Karen. I think this is like sort of an access question for your team. If you're going to hire someone who can go into your account and create things, you can manage their permissions, right? So you can maybe at some point give them access to, to pages and things like that. And then you could remove that at a later date if you chose, or even remove that person from your team. They would only get access to the personal information and the controls on the account if you give them that access. So you actually get to choose. So, your address, your credit card information, et cetera, that would be secured if you aren't allowing access to that part of the system. Okay. Yeah. So if anybody has questions, I want to make sure we have space here. If you are getting started with us and you maybe you have, maybe you haven't tried out our getting started resource here that we've discussed here today. If you have any questions about sort of where to start with AttractWell and maybe where to put your efforts first, feel free to ask away, since that is the subject of today's discussion. Happy to kind of chat through that with you and give some context. And of course, if you happen to be somebody who has a business type that isn't listed, or you're maybe not quite sure how to categorize what it is that you do, that is definitely an opportunity to get in touch with us, right? To take that, take the setup quiz and then maybe shoot a message over to us, because we're always looking for ways to improve this. All right, let me find you here in the list here, Artie, and we will go check out your website. Hey there, how can we help?
Hey, so I have spent a ton of money on my website. I got somebody else design it before I, hired somebody from AttractWell as well.
Mhm.
So two people actually worked on my website, and I just want to have your feedback because I'm not been well, I wouldn't say I'm not been able to, but I still have, I feel like it's incomplete, meaning the email sequences, the funnel, and I was hoping to get everything done And those back end stuff is still missing part. But as far as the appearance goes, if you could just have a look at it
Yeah.
and see that kind of looks, because I did change my main picture on the top and then a little bit here and there. So I don't know, what's your feedback on that? If I still need to do something.
Yeah, so far it's very clean. It's perfect above the fold here. We're speaking directly to, to who you are serving and giving them very clear options as to what steps they could take here. This looks great. Awesome. This is going to your About Me page. Fantastic. I would potentially give a little bit of copy in this section here. Right. So even if it's just sort of a brief summary, or maybe including like some testimonial type information, that would be helpful here as well, because that's going to, I think, draw the attention. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do have the testimonials if you scroll down a little bit.
Got you. I'm saying in this section in particular, even maybe just having a blurb here about the coaching program is going to make people more likely to click this button and go learn more about it. Right? It makes it just a little bit more compelling than just the images.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome testimonials. Great. Good keywords here as well. Ooh. Okay,
and I just added my social media at the bottom.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I love this widget down here. So there is a slight alignment issue here. Do you see how this is? I imagine that it wasn't, you probably wanted these to be sort of centered in the section. This
Yeah,
is sort of
that's not something I
aligning.
did. Yeah, I'm not a technical person. That's why I had to hire two people to do this.
Got you, understood. Yeah. So this is a minor thing. Let's take a look actually at the mobile as well, since we're working on the visuals here. The page is called Home, I assume. Yes. Okay. And we could maybe just do a quick, that would have been this one. Yeah, because we were on a desktop device. Let's see. Left, right. Huh. This could potentially be something that's over my head. Yeah. That might be something just to pop over to our team for support, someone who's a little bit more qualified at making those changes than I am.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, this is good.
Yeah, this was the picture before, and so I changed it.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a pop-up here. I feel like this comes up a little too early, and we can address that here in just a minute. This is also, there's a great opportunity right here to give just a little bit more copy to make this more compelling, right? So we obviously want them, we want a call to action to do this, but we want to maybe provide just a little bit more of a compelling reason for them too. So we know that we need to overcome challenges, but like maybe there's an example of one or a metric that you can kind of speak to briefly here. Just again, to make this a little bit more effective to get the actual opt-in. But visually still great. This is really well formatted. Love the animation. Okay, great. And this widget shows up on mobile here as well. No, this is visually, it's fantastic. And let's see. We also have
So I was
go ahead.
I was trying when I added that social media link, the Instagram link, I was trying to see because I have a YouTube channel and
Mhm.
I was like, I don't know if I could add that as well or just this one. It allows you to only add one of it.
Oh, like a widget like this?
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm not really familiar with YouTube widgets. I'm positive they exist. You would just have an additional section on that page.
Gotcha.
That's basically how that would work. Here, let me go back to here. Yeah, you
You
would
know what I'm
have,
trying to say, right? Like, a lot of websites have their small little window of YouTube running on the side and it shows, and if you click on it, then you can actually, it takes you to the YouTube channel.
yeah, yeah, that is
Yeah.
something that you can do with us. And that would just, it would basically entail picking whatever that widget is. And getting its code and putting it, plugging it into your site here. It's similar to like there are some when you land on a page where there's like a little chat widget at the bottom.
Mhm.
Like that, those are all things that you can absolutely include here. It's not an embedded function of AttractWell, but it absolutely is something that you can add on and use.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so let's look at the opt-in window here. So in the leads tab is what we're looking for here. There's a pop-up and yeah, this 5 seconds after the page opens is a
Mhm.
little bit on the quick side. So I would maybe do like after a certain percentage of scroll, maybe 25 to 50% of the page, or you know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, something like that. 5 is just a touch fast. So
Could
in
you
terms
change
of,
that, please?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Here, let's just let's move it over to the
While you're
50%.
at it.
Yeah, we'll put the at 50%. And then yeah, that way they've got an opportunity just to kind of peruse your website just a little bit more before that pop-up shows up for them.
Perfect.
So that is fixed. Awesome. And then you've got, let me see, we
So
had your,
overall, you
Mhm.
think that it's done, like, or do I need to make any changes? Or, and I also tried to do my logo a little bit bigger, but I just couldn't do it. It's I don't know, I uploaded it so many times that I couldn't get my logo to be a little bit bigger than that.
Oh, this. So it's
Uh-huh.
only going to display so large on the page just because of how
Um,
it's coded. But you do
okay.
have the option if you wanted to in Pages to create custom headers and footers and insert them in here. And so you can actually go into settings for the page, and you can have custom headers that you use. It's just
Hmm.
if you use that, you're probably going to want to not use the built-in header with the menu. If you wanted to make that different, you would have to use a different option for the menu.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, in terms of the content that's here, it's very well formatted. It flows easily. It's very well done. It's very,
Okay.
very well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. It's really good use of parallax and like the negative space is great. We're blogging. This is awesome. And I like that
Mhm.
this is a drop-down menu. I think I think that the menus across the top can certainly look nice, but this is it's really effective and clean.
So only thing about the blogs, they kind of like tend to be under one another, like, as my blogs post, like tomorrow will be the another blog that's already in schedule,
Mhm.
so it just lines like one after the other. Is that how it's supposed to be, or it's supposed to be on a separate page?
Yeah, so this is
Like each
your
blog has to be on a separate page, or is it supposed to be underneath one another?
Yeah, so in this example of the one that was posted on the first, you have an excerpt
Mhm.
here, and then you've got read more. This is an optimal way to set this up, and you actually could go even with even less copy for that. So here you could,
Mhm.
just maybe have one compelling sentence and then have read more and perhaps an image like you've done in this one. a
Okay.
feature, like a featured image. I'll
Right.
show an example. Here
So
we
I
go.
have one scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay. So this is in Dutch, but this is our friend Katinka. And so she's, it's like one sentence, and then there's read more, and there's an
Ah,
image. And that's kind of the formula that's being followed here. And yeah, each of the posts that you're making will have their own link, but this is your /blog, right? So this is your blog digest.
mm,
And the thing about this
gotcha.
is that's really cool is if you are using categories or tags for your blog posts, people can actually search and like filter for those. You could actually kind of have like a custom list there, and you could even have a URL. So it would be slash, I want to say it's tags or categories. And so there's actually, you could actually send somebody a link to a list of just your posts that are about a particular topic, which is really
Mm,
cool. And you have, I'm not sure if this is something that you plan to do, but if you're using the featured images for your blog posts, you can also have, just like you've got like a widget for your social media down here, you can also have like
uh-huh.
recent blog posts, and so having
Oh,
like the featured
okay.
images for those. And so have like just whatever your latest ones would be, would show up there in that list.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll be great. That's
Yeah,
perfect. Thank you. Thank you so
yeah,
much. I appreciate it.
absolutely. Glad you could come out.
And one of the
Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, let me bring you back out. Sorry about that. Here we go. Go ahead. You are muted though.
gonna say one of the
Okay,
thing I wanted
sure.
to add was that I highly recommend hiring somebody from AttractWell and getting the website done because, like I said, spent a ton of money before, and then I had to come back. And when I realized that you guys also do, help us, and that was really helpful. So I highly recommend anybody who's not technical like me get help from a track wall, and because you guys built it, you know it, you've done it, you know how to do the job, and very helpful. It's very, very helpful. She was very patient with me, and she did exactly what I was looking for in my website. And now coming back to you guys and you giving me the review gives me a lot of feedback and gives me a really peace of mind that yes, it's done really well.
Awesome. We're so happy to hear that and that you're happy with what you have here. And you should be. They did a very, very good job with your site. It's very professional, it's clean. And I think it's doing what it's intended to do.
Yep. Thank you.
Sure thing. All right. Karen says, do you have training on how to grab a link? Let's say I have a recording in my Google Doc and want to promote it for a lead magnet. I'm not sure how to link the recording to my AttractWell landing page. Yeah. So basic basic funnel structure, right? You have a place where you are offering the thing, right? So in this case, it's a training. So you're going to have a landing page or a page with a form on it that says, put your name and email in here to get this training. Okay. Now, after they put their name and email in, we need to be clear on what's going to happen next, right? So the first thing that we need to make sure that we have is just some kind of confirmation page that they go to. Just real simple. Hey, check your email. I've just sent you something, right? So that's your confirmation page. If you're doing a more complicated funnel, one that's maybe intentionally moving someone toward a strategy call, maybe you're going to use an authority page. That's something we talk about in the Client Funnel Challenge course. But then what you want to just do is create a campaign. And that campaign is where you're going to put that link, right? So if somebody says, hey, I want to get this training from you, and you have the training, it's in a link, you need to send the link to them. We don't want to send them straight to that location or that URL right after they opt in, because it's very important that you actually collect a good lead, right? So if they mistype their email address or something like that, that's not the lead, right? You're not going to be able to send more emails to them. You're not going to be able to actually turn them into a client or customer. So that's why we use a campaign. And the real simple thing that you're going to do here is, and I'm going to actually show you, oh, actually bear with me just a moment. I'm going to pop out of Artie's account and get into a demo account so I can just show you really simply how we would go about doing this. But basically, yeah, you're just going to create a simple funnel. You got to have a landing page, you got to have a confirmation page, and then you're going to use a campaign that ties it all together. So where you do that, where that connects, obviously you do need to create the campaign and put the link in the campaign. But once you have that, you create yourself a landing page. Here's one that we created, super simple landing page. And in the settings, you attach the campaign right there. And so this campaign is where you're going to have your link in the day 0 message. That's the one that's going to go out to them right away. And then maybe you've got some more that you want to send. The client funnel challenge is where you're going to learn a lot of the things that I'm talking about here, but that is a more robust funnel than the one I've described just now. I've just described a very simple funnel. So yeah, here you go. You put a link right there in the email, the first one that goes out to them, and that's going to give them what they signed up for. Okay, I have a question about emails, messages from Anita. Is there a customized special code for the beginning of the message, like hello, first name? Yeah, absolutely. We call these, and we're in the perfect frame right here to show that to you. We have contact first name right here. And all of the contact, the field tags actually show up right here. So just look for this text bubble when you're in your editor. And this would be, I'm in the campaign editor right now, but this would also show up in the message editor if you're sending a text message or an email broadcast or a direct message to someone. All right, Ricky says, is there any way to request AI writer to produce a shorter excerpt of a blog post? Yeah, so we have one that's built into our blog feature, but you could always copy your blog post. So just get the text of your blog post. So let's go to, that's under website. You could always just use Write with AI, right? So here's this one. I don't know if I actually have an excerpt for this, but I do have, let's go take a look. Yeah, it's very, very quick. So I am just going to grab the content here. I'm going to copy it. So Command C, I'm going to go to Write with AI, and I'm going to say, write an excerpt for this blog post, and keep it under, I don't know, 3 sentences, or you could give it a character count, right? And then paste it, and all of it's not going in, but they're getting the gist, and it'll write that for you, right? So we do have one that automatically writes an excerpt. So if you, there you go, it's a quick one here. And of course I did that, I think this was a live demo when we did this in the first place, but you can automatically write the excerpt, and it'll give you some options there. If you don't prefer the length, then just go to Write with AI and specify the length that you're looking for. Let me see, you can take the same post and ask it to write a meta description and tell it to be sure to include this keyword, that keyword, etc. But it's just a matter of copying and pasting in the content that you want it to summarize or to create metadata for, and then excuse me, and then giving it the parameters in your prompt. All right, great questions today, you guys. We still have space for discussion or for review if you guys need help. And yeah, feel free, you can pop your hand up or you can request in the chat or in Q&A. Let's see, can I hire someone to build a funnel for me? Includes all the content. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, we've our team is not just made up of designers of beautiful pages like the ones that we saw were created for you, but also fantastic creatives and copywriters, strategists. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely reach out to our team and they can help with that. Let's see, the auto summarize. Okay, yeah, there we go. How do I put a virtual background in AttractWell Zoom? It seems to default to my, okay, got you. All right, so we're in a webinar right now, so I can't like visually demo this for you, but I believe, let me see, it's in the video settings, right? Yes, yeah, so when you're in Zoom, on the lower left-hand part of the screen, there's a microphone and there's a camera logo. One of these is for your audio, one of these is for your video. It's how you toggle them on and off. You want to mute yourself, turn your video on and off. But there's a little up arrow right next to either of these, and the virtual background is one of those options there under video, and that's something that you can set up in the AttractWell Zoom. Now, if you are seeing that 40-minute warning, it probably means that it probably means that you weren't actually logging into Zoom from your AttractWell, or if you have like another Zoom account, there may be something happening there with that. Like if you're signed into Zoom, like into Zoom's actual portal, right, with your own account with Zoom, it may be that you're signing in as that as opposed to you from your AttractWell account. Okay, I don't think, so I think your virtual background should be stored on your local device in the Zoom software is how I think that would work. But I'm not entirely sure. Greg, do you know if you utilize like at the enterprise level with Zoom, and we did do an in-depth Zoom training, like, you know, what is Zoom and AttractWell, how does it work, etc. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it already. But we didn't discuss this then. Greg, do you know if you maybe have settings that you put into place, such as a virtual background, that it would preserve those if you were logging in from AttractWell?
I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I know some of it can, like name and profile picture. There's a few settings in the back end of Zoom that you normally would have access to if you would like buy Zoom directly from Zoom, but we can set some of those for you. Now, as far as like the virtual backgrounds and such, I'm not sure offhand. I'd have to try that to see what is and isn't remembered, because some of that is specific and maybe session related. I mean, I know like Zoom, the background is something that persists on the paid Zoom, so I'm not sure if it remembers that. But there are a lot of settings we can change for you on the back end if you email support. I know the background is not one we can change for you, so you'd have to try that. Start a meeting, set the background, stop the meeting, try it again, see if the background sticks. See if that would hang on to it.
Yeah, and definitely make sure you're fully logged out of Zoom if you have a separate Zoom account. Okay, awesome. Yeah, it's worth checking out. There's some, yeah, Artie says that that her settings stay preserved in AttractWell using Zoom. So that's good. If there's something that you would really like to have your Zoom do and you're like trying to make it work and you're not seeing a way, and I know you mentioned you watched our recent training on Zoom, just shoot a message to our team and we can kind of troubleshoot. Like Greg mentioned, there are some controls on the back end that can be modified because we like have an enterprise account here, and we may be able to make some adjustments to how things work for you. What happens if I get more people to attend a Zoom meeting than my current limit of 10? Can I get an instant increase in maximum numbers? So what I would do, because your AttractWell plan does come with a certain number of attendees, like a volume of attendees as a limit. If you are, let's say, for instance, typically, you're using your Zoom for, I don't know, one-on-one calls, maybe with prospective clients, maybe with clients, but you're never really going to have a lot of people on your calls as a general rule, but you decide to offer a workshop and you're promoting that workshop to a list of 500 people and you're hoping to get 50 people to sign up. You can absolutely just shoot a message to our team and say, hey, for this month or for the next week or whatever, I need to increase my Zoom capacity to 50 people. We will get back to you with a wildly reasonable figure, and you can choose to have that added on just for that month on your account. And so you don't have to change your plan to change that capacity. You can just shoot a message to our team. And I mean, if obviously our team's super responsive, and that is something that could kind of be done in real time, but I would maybe like, I would choose to do that beforehand, before that event. So looking at your, the list size that you're sending this to, sort of what your goal number of people are, etc. You could do that ahead of time just to make sure that you don't break capacity there. And thank you for your question. You are not hogging anything. You're doing great. Awesome. Yeah, so the floor is open again. If anyone would like to do a review, if you want to talk through anything, you can raise your hand here, or you can put your questions or requests into the chat. I want to ask that you guys take a couple of moments today or sometime this week and go through that setup guide. Take a look at what's there and give us your feedback. Right? This is something that is going to be a continual work of improvement. There's definitely a lot more to come where this is concerned. Like I mentioned, with that glossary, there is a whole additional feature there to kind of help you reference and find quickly contextual terms and features in AttractWell that fit the use cases that you guys are looking for. So your feedback really goes a long way for that. Hi, Angeline, I see your hand up. I'm going to bring you out to chat. Hey, how are you? Are you able to unmute?
Yeah, there we are. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Oh, excellent. Okay, I'm on my phone and I have long, skinny fingers. So I'm trying to figure out what to do here. I didn't intend to do this, but I think I'm close finally to getting things set up. And so I don't want to take the time to now go and switch my website over before I start launching the funnel. Can you describe a scenario where I can keep the website that I have and still use AttractWell to get my funnel off the ground, and then behind the scenes continue to build the website onto
Oh my gosh, yeah.
AttractWell?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so basically what you would do is you would build your funnels in AttractWell, right? So if you have on your existing website, if you have a call to action to get a free guide or to book a call or whatever, you would link that, that call to action on your other website, you would link to your AttractWell site, right? So just make sure that you're using maybe a subdomain of your existing one, right?
Okay.
Yes. So use. Mhm.
If I'm, say, doing a YouTube video and I give a link in the description, where does the initial link take the person to the original website or to a landing page? Or I guess that's what the starting point of the funnel, since I'm working with two different sites.
Yeah, so I would send them to the landing page in AttractWell. So build the landing pages in AttractWell, link to those from your content, link to those from your existing website. And
okay.
Yeah, and then when you're ready, you're just move over the website that you have.
Okay, I'm sorry, you lost me again. When you said link over to AttractWell, and then you said link over to the existing website, are you saying do both? Or
so no, you link from, right? So on your existing website, you would have book a call, or you would have get my free guide, right? Something like this.
yes, I see.
On that page on
Okay.
your existing website, you would point to the AttractWell URL where you have the landing page. And from your content, a YouTube video description, you would point to that landing page. Yeah, so you would just basically, yeah, you would treat your homepage just sort of like a directory of links to your stuff on AttractWell.
Okay, and is there ever a reason that I would want to have a link back to the website if someone makes it to the landing page, or am I just putting them through the funnel at that point?
I would just focus on putting them through the funnel. Once
Okay,
you've got them as a
gotcha.
lead, because I mean, it looks like from what I'm seeing, you have, and obviously I don't, you know, there may be more that's not publicly available, but you've only got a couple of pages. You've got
Yeah,
it like
there's
a
nothing
home and
there.
about me. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, if they decided to opt in, you don't really need to send them back to the place that tells them who you are, right?
Right.
They already know,
Okay.
and
Perfect.
they're cool with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And so you're saying a subdomain would be what I would use for the landing page.
That's right. Yeah. So you would use a subdomain
Okay.
for AttractWell for now. Just be
Okay.
aware, depending on how long you're doing this, because I know your goal is to move over the website fully
Yeah.
to AttractWell. Just make
Yes.
sure that you are keeping a log of where you're linking to those landing pages, et cetera, in AttractWell, because once you move that homepage or you redesign the homepage on our platform, you are
Mm-hmm.
going to be
Mm-hmm.
changing the website address, right?
The
Like
links. Yeah.
so your domain
So
is going to become the one that you already have. So you are going to want to go
yeah.
back and change those links.
So right now the existing website, like you said, just has the 2 pages, which in
Oh no, where'd you go? I'm so sorry about that. Are you there?
yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. In one of those 2 pages on the original website actually says that I'm working on a more robust website. So it might not be a bad idea to just do the 2 pages on AttractWell and get it over with, and then finish building. That way I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about relinking.
Yeah,
Okay,
and like
that
and
makes sense.
I'm looking at what you have on your existing site, and this could be done in, I mean, this could be done in
Yeah,
an hour.
I mean I
Like
did that. So well,
yeah.
by the way, that since you're on the existing site, that
Mhm.
blue pop-up that has the that I think is a mission, would that be something that did you lose me or did I? Oh, would that be something that I should put maybe something that speaks to exactly what I do there instead of the mission and put the mission someplace else?
Let's see. I would, so above the fold on the website that you design on AttractWell, I wouldn't
Yes.
put your tagline, your like this is an opportunity right here, and this is good that you've got book a call right here. But right here, something like this would be a bit more effective than having your logo here. So like swapping these, that would be more effective. But what would be most effective would be to basically say whatever it is that you want to say to somebody who's showing up here wondering if you're the person that they need
Hmm.
to work with, right? So
Okay. Yeah.
um
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and I think we saw
Yeah.
a great example of that in Artie's website. um
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, so something that's just right there
Okay.
at the top that's speaking to the ideal person. That's also a great opportunity to have a photo of you, because this is you, it's your name. So having a photo of you
Yes.
and information about or not necessarily information, right? This is where we give a compelling reason for someone to stick around, right?
Yeah.
It's them,
Okay.
yeah, it's what shows them that they're in the right place.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much, Ashley. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming out.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. All right, let me see. I think we've got them all. Pop out of my share here. Thank you guys for your amazing questions and your continuous feedback. We're really excited to continue working on these features that help you to grow and to simplify the work that you do. We'll be back here same time next week. If there's something more that you would like to learn, let us know. If you can't find it, let us know. We may create a training just for you. We'll be back same time next week, you guys. Have a great week, everybody.